just not, this is early morning. And like I said, I promised, I said I will start sharing my thoughts early in the morning because I'm starting to realize that the thoughts are not for me, it's actually for the collective. And so this one's going to be titled, What's Next for America? This was hit me as soon as I woke up this morning, even though I was not trying to think about nothing. I'm gonna be honest. So you're hearing everything about the dollar falling. They're saying it may collapse. Y'all is falling. You're hearing about the big beautiful bill. You seeing what's happening in government. You're hearing about the structure systems that were created. They were created like later on during the process of America being formed, or like later on in the 60s, 70s. A lot of structures we're under right now were not even around. So I said, what's next for America? Like, so we already see what's happening. There's no stopping this train, y'all. So I want people to get to the point, though. What do you want America to be after it's done? After this America is collapsed. Now, it is going to be souls who are going to choose to try to fight for the old structure that has to die. You got to learn to be okay with that. And when I say, structures it has to collapse. So some people may decide that they want to collapse with it. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow. You ain't going to be safe. There's going to be those who are going to realize, hey, we're going to have to build something sovereign between the structure, and it's going to be states that are going to succeed. I've been saying this for a minute. As you can see it, the writing's on the wall from the government, from the federal government. You're going to have a lot of communities that's going to come out of it. You're going to have people who are going to leave, and they're going to help people to get out of the U.S. There's going to be people who are going to leave, and they're going to be like, I'm just done with the U.S. That's not my job. Some people assignments, like when you start understanding soul assignments and soul purpose and what God created each person to do, everybody is a part of the whole. You realize that some people are here to, their assignment is themselves. Some people's assignments is their family, their immediate family, some of the family they created. Some people's assignment is their full family. Some people's assignment is the community. Some people's assignment is like the world, their state, their city, their municipality, their providence, wherever you are in the world. Okay, so everybody has different soul assignments. So you just learn to accept that. But what's next? And a lot of people are going to be stuck on what's falling, what's happening, this, that, and other. I want people to start having the conversation of what do you want America to look like after the collapse? So, like, what do you want the government to look like? What do you want the new money structure to look like? Should it be a credit system? Should it not be a credit system? There's a lot of countries, I'm scouting. A lot of my friends are scouting. A lot of people are leaving. A lot of my friends have left. And the first thing you learn is that a lot of people don't have credit systems. They go by, can you afford to purchase the place? Can you afford to move into the apartment? You pay for your 3 months and you get to sign a lease and you move in. If you can pay, they don't care nothing about your credit. So is the credit system make sense? Because one thing I can tell you, as a person that has, traveled heavy mostly for work, I just be living life, but I pay attention to the environments I go into. I pay attention to what I'm seeing and so forth. America's homelessness has risen tremendously over the last 2 years. And I'm not talking about people who are not working. I'm not talking about people who, may have mental health issues or people who choose to be homeless. I can tell these are people who have jobs now. These are people that are living in their cars. Something's wrong. So the structure is no longer helping. It's no longer assisting the majority of its citizens. It's no longer working for the majority of its citizens. In the age that we're going into, that can no longer be the case. It has to shift. Mother Earth is going to make sure it shifts. God is going to make sure it shifts. So the question is, what do you want next at this point? I'm seeing all the stories, I'm hearing all the stories, and people people preparing to fight, people preparing to protect their land, people this, people this, people that. What is next? How do you want it to be after the fact? What makes a society whole? What does make a society whole look like for you? Is it that everybody actually has a place to live? Because there's enough places for people to live in. Is it that everybody has access to the basics, food, shelter, um, water? Those are the basics for living. Is that what it boils down to? What does it look like? So I think as America goes through this shift that it's going to go through, no stopping it. There's no stopping this, you guys. Not now, because it's kicked off. Okay. And we're in it. It's happening. And it's happening pretty quickly. I think we have to get to the point of what's next. What does it look like after the shift? What do you want to see after the shift? How do you think things should be after the shift? Because those that are still here that, want America to be the country they believe it to be, you have to begin to think about what the structure looks like next. How should it look? What's the what is the remake of America? We're going to the age of people. We're no longer in the age of um, having oligarchies and having kings and this and other. They're not about the people. That is shifting. It takes a shift doesn't happen like overnight and it's beautiful and it's like, oh, we shifted. That's not how shifts happen, y'all. Because it's always people who are at different levels. I explained that already earlier on, how different souls do different journeys and people are just different. So shifts are not like pretty a lot of times. Sometimes they're very ugly because it's going to be people who are going to want to hold on to the old world, who are going to want to the system stay as it is because they're the most comfortable in it. They're going to want to keep things as they are because they're winning in that particular structure, but it has to go about the majority of the people now. If that structure is not about the majority of the people already, they're going to have the hardest time through the shift. And America is not that structure. So they're going to be one of the countries that's going to experience one of the most difficult transitions through the shift. And it's the youngest country. So America comes up on 250 years next year. And anytime a country hits 250 years, is a major shift that has to occur, that has to happen. So I need people to start getting onto what is next. It is time to start thinking what's next. How do you see the new America structure being? How does it work for the American citizens? Do you keep guns legal? Do you keep health care where it's at? Do you keep the banking system where it's at? You're gonna have opportunity to redo it. So what do you want to look like? What do you want it to look like after the fact? That's where people's minds have to start going. Those of you who are here to build the new structure after the old structure falls, it's time for you to start getting prepared and start thinking about what does that new world look like for America. So what's next for America? Think about the main structures: the banking, homes, housing, water, electricity, healthcare. Start exploring other countries and how they have structured things that is beneficial to the citizens. It doesn't mean you don't still have millionaires and billionaires. That doesn't mean that that doesn't exist. I don't know why people think that's not something in other countries. I have no clue. Like, I don't know where y'all got that from. But start exploring and understanding and seeing, what's working in other countries, what's not working in other countries. How can you remake it to be better in America and truly help the majority of its citizens? Because one thing I say, especially for me, just traveling and just, experiencing different stuff and now scouting and learning a lot about other places, is wherever that municipality, that country, that province, whatever it is, wherever their majority citizens fall, that is what that environment is creating. However you twist it. America has a real big blame game on, oh, they're not educated enough. They're just not working hard enough. They're not doing this. They didn't do that. So that's why they're not here. That's a lie, y'all. Stop falling for that. Because anytime you got people that's working two jobs and they can barely make it, that means your structure is set up to work against your citizens. Twist it however you want to. You can just look around and see these problems. So, what does that new structure look like? That's what people's mind has to get to. There's no saving this, y'all. It's done for. It's working against the majority of his people on his land. That's never going to work spiritually. Never. The majority of people can't be in strife in your land be okay. It's not going to work. Your land is going to be low vibrational. Your land is going to have bad karma. Your land is going to be what some people consider America is cursed. And I don't think it's technically, but I always feel like karma can change. I always feel like structures can be rebuilt. You can't build things on top of, you can't add band-aids on top of bad structure and think the structure is going to get better. It has to crumble so that you can really get to a point where it's truly working for everybody. So they've already added the band-aids. They tried to add the band-aids. That didn't work. So we already know that's not the way to go. Okay. We know that is not helping. That is not helping. It didn't help. All the band-aids getting removed for the most part. Because the foundation of America's structure was never addressed. It has to get addressed. That's what you're seeing happening. You can't skip how you were founded and not deal with the atrocity of how you were founded. You can't skip a cracked foundation. Eventually, that foundation is going to crack even more until you fix it. You know how you had that windshield? You know how if you ever had a windshield and it got cracked and it had and you didn't go get it fixed right away, and then the crack kept getting bigger and kept getting bigger, kept getting bigger. Eventually, you had to go get it replaced. That's what America's been doing. And this is my home country, so I don't want to see it, not be able to make it to a country that it possibly could be. I don't want to see that. Not for, you it's like your hometown. It's like you from your hometown. You want to see your hometown do good. You from my hometown. I be rooting people in from I root for my hometown people all the time. That's where I was born. That's my energy. That's what provided me with the things I walk with right now. Whether I decide to stay there or not, I'm still gonna root for you. Just had other assignments elsewhere to complete. That don't mean I'm not gonna root for you. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be like, I want you guys to be okay. It doesn't mean that I don't see what's upon us, but I see the opportunity in it. I see that now people can really begin to think about what's next and really build an America that works for all citizens. So start thinking, what is next for America? Not how to save what has to fall, but what does it look like after the fall? So that was my download for this morning. Like I said, I will start sharing them because I'm starting to realize this is not just for me. It's like for people who are supposed to hear this and share it out and get it out of my chest and out of my mind. And maybe random thoughts. They may sound like jumbled at times. They may be clear for somebody. So whoever this message is for, I hope it reaches you. And I hope you're one of the builders for the new America. Man, that's amazing. Walk in your glory. Complete your soul mission and your soul purpose. Whenever you hear this message, I hope you're having a great morning, a great night, a great evening, and I'll talk to you guys later.